Hello everyone. We're going to walk through the J process really quickly, and what we're going to start with is the J process when putting in embroidery. So if you have a request that comes in from a customer to do embroidery, the best way to do it is first to get onto the J page. To get onto the J page, you could either save it to your browser like I did, or you could go through operations and try to find the J. As you can see, the J process is right here. Click on the J process. It'll bring you to the J page. Once you're on the J page, you'll notice that this is the main page. After you found out that you can put the J on for the product or for the embroidery, you want to check to make sure that the J has not been done. So you're going to check the codes and find out. And for this one, because we're taking a look at something, and as we notice, this one has been put on by myself. We'll take a look at the J just to see what it looks like. This one we don't have to put on, but this way we know, hey, is this the right artwork? Is this exactly what the customer wants? This is exactly what the stitch out looks like after everything is completed. This is a very good piece of artwork. Let's see where we started though. This is where we started. This was all that was provided by our customer. So we took this and we were able to turn it into embroidery that looks like this. Now, results may vary, and that's why you have to approve the J to make sure it's exactly what the customer wants. But let's go through this step by step. So if we're going to the main page, and just for training purposes, how we enter a new J, we're going to enter a brand new J request for a customer code. I'm going to use a house account. Once that's entered, you click go, and then we're in here and I'm going to select the individuals that are going to approve in it. Now this contact person, once that information's in here, you want to make sure that you note the J accurately. So in this case, what we are going to note is you can use attached artwork or attached photo and make sure that you list the sizes on this. For this, it's going to be a 3.5 by 3.5 star. Now, click yes, because you've broken down the size, etc. that you need, because they're going to be digitizing this from the artwork that you've attached. For this opportunity, for the first go round, they're looking for approximately 20 polos that this is going to go on. So we list that. What price that we want this in the system for, because of the size, we could get the breakdown. The list price should be around $11.99. This is going to be for a quote for this opportunity. Requested lead time, be realistic. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on the vendor that it's coming from. Once we actually have it set up in the system, that's not to complete it on this. Is this a one-time order? For most cases, it's going to be yes, unless it has something to do with bids. That's going to be a contract start and end date. Do we know the name of the vendor? In this case, we are creating this and doing this in-house, so we could leave this blank. Is this item similar to any existing BBC item? Even though there are several other embroidery in the J system and in our system, we do not need to put that in there to cause further confusion. The product category, of course, is going to be embroidery. The size of the potential order on this one is unknown. There are no special instructions. And our response date, please do not do anything within 24 hours. The purchasing department needs to have time to, one, take a look at the J, see if there's any changes that may be needed for it, find out if the item is able to be sourced, and then put it into the system. For this, because it is embroidery, they're going to have to send everything to Q Digitizing, or company we are using currently. And because it's June, I'm going to make sure that I'm outside of 24 hours, and because today's the 13th, I'm going to ask to have this back on the 15th. That's the due date. That's not always when it's going to be done. If you do need a sample to send to the customer, and sometimes when you do embroidery, they actually want the stitch out, you would select yes and the date the sample's needed by. Please note that even if you do select yes and you do select that the item is needed by the customer, that does not order the sample. The only way that a sample is ordered is if a purchase order is put on the system. The only way to get a purchase order onto the system is by entering an order by yourself, if you could enter orders, or having it done by customer service or myself. Now that all of this is done, you would select enter request. Now the most important thing for your J when you're doing an embroidery is to make sure that you have uploaded the art. So I need to add a document. So I'm going to click here and then I'm going to open the J document folder. Once this is open, I'm going to need to select the item that I want to place inside of this folder by opening either my email and dragging the file and dropping it, or by open up where I have my patches and artwork saved. Once I have that open, I'm going to scroll down and find the artwork that I need to attach. And in this case, it's here. Now that this is downloaded, we can actually close this file, go back to the main page, and we could take a look at what we've entered. I could open this up and see exactly what's been saved. Now that I could see what's been saved, I know exactly what it's going to look like for the purchaser or anybody else who opens it up. That is how you enter a J for embroidery.